vivre ensemble, votre chaîne de proximité, 24 heures sur 24.
Journée de repos jeudi pour les pays participants à la 17e Coupe d'Afrique des Nations de volleyball féminine dans la capitale camerounaise. Excite la première phase du tournoi et place dans le jeu demi-finale. Maintenant, titre Kenyan affronte l'Égypte à une idée de retour du match Cameroun-Sénégal.
Good morning, good people, and welcome to yet another beautiful edition of Sports Frenzy on Info TV, your television of proximity and living together. And this morning, we are going to be discussing football essentially. We'll be talking about what is happening in Cameroon, or what has made news in Cameroon this week as far as sport is concerned. But we are also going to go over to Europe, the old continent, to talk about one player that is shaking the whole football industry. Well, just time for me to welcome to the studio the guest of the day. We have a young man who is joining us today, DJIBRING. Ball, you're welcome to Sports Frenzy.
Good morning, Isaac, and good morning to all the televiewers of Sports Frenzy.
Thank you very much for coming. And then just besides DJIBRING, we have Marcel TARLA. He is a usual in the house. Marcel TARLA, welcome back.
Thank you, Isaac. Good morning. Welcome, GB. Welcome, bro.
Well, just beside him, we have a wonderful sports journalist and, of course, analyst who is here to help us today understand what is happening, especially with the PWD of Bamenda. We have Afeseh APONG. Afeseh, you are welcome back.
Thank you, Isaac. It's a pleasure being part of the program this Saturday morning.
And right away, without any transition, we are going to begin the show, gentlemen. As usual, what we will do is, as we take in the story, we are going to be discussing it before we move to the next one. And of course, we want to begin with the 2021 African Nations Football Championship. That is the CHAN. Just to say that preparations are going to get into another gear. That will be from the 15th to the 29th because Yves Clement ARROGA, that is the head coach of the Intermediate Lions of Cameroon, has made public a list of 30 players that are going to Bankomo, that is the CAF Excellence Center, to begin preparing ahead of this tournament. Just time for us to go back to our videotapes and take this report that was done on the list of 30. It was done by the chief of the sports desk at Info TV, Willie Kak. Report.
Yves Clement ARROGA has renewed his confidence in almost 80% of the last selection he made before the advent of the coronavirus. At the goalpost, the tactician is still counting on Simon Omosola, Dande Jr., and Epanele Tizi. 8 defenders have been caught, including Etamen Gombe, Job Lijop, Embo David, Ngwang Brian, Allen Mukoko Dor, Thomas Eta Bawak, Serge Andulo, and Dauda Alim. Mr. ARROGA's list has 13 midfielders, including Captain Mark Ojong Kongor, Abandan Kwar, Yannick Ebonge, Ngede Ngede, Fabrice Onana-Baduina, Renenzi, Thierry Bambe, Stéphane Meyopo, Ulrich Lobe, Valentin Beobato, Yahayar Abdoulaye, Henry Bele, and Gonara Tiati. The attacking line is manned by Samuel Len, Leon Boyomo, Mbappe Muller, Aruna Dang, Jules Arnaud Kaur, and Soga Bryant. Mindful of a possibility of some departures before the final phase of the 2021 CHAN, the Intermediate Lions head coach has put 9 players on the waiting list. They include Anya Derrick Fru, Alphonse Marie Chenche, Meyong Alfred, Yusuf, Meke Meyangar Anod, Alima Atangana, Ebene Jacques, Njiki Robert, and Banga Badjemi.
Well, we got a report that was done by your humble servant instead. Since it is on the same thing, we're going to leave it like that. Just time for us to discuss that list. Begin with you, Afeseh APONG. What is your first reading of that list that was made public by Yves Clement ARROGA?
We'll start by saying that we have had an update on the list recently.
Of course, we're going to talk about the update. Has gone out.
Through Derek and he has taken his place. But generally, when you look at the list, it's virtually the same list we had in the last training camp before the outbreak of the coronavirus. It's also
what does that tell you about Yves Clement ARROGA's vision as far as the 2021 Shan is concerned?
Yeah, I think he's trying to maintain a certain level of consistency in the players he selects, except for the fact that we've lost a player like Thierry Akono, who recently left AS Fortuna and went to Tanzania and paid a 2-year contract with Azam Sport. Yeah. We also have a player like Pascal Abega Mbaga, who left Qatar Sport and went to AS Vita Club. So it was important to find players who come in and replace him. But I think when you look at the list, the goalkeeping compartment with Simon Lotio Musala was first of all added. We have a goalkeeper like Epane Litizi. We have Ndande Junior. Those are goalkeepers. I think they are amongst the best we've had in the country of recent. A goalkeeper like Ndande has played with the various categories of the Cameroon national team, and I think his presence there is not really anything that can raise controversies because he's one of the best keepers. But we regret the fact that a player like Alphonse Marie Tienche, he's not part of the team and he has been relegated to the waiting list, because when you look at the current squad, you discover that we don't have a specialized left back, because I think the only left back we have is Sage Andolo, who is going to operate on that place. But when you look at Sage Andolo, he's more of an offensive-minded left back. It's not really defensively. He's not really the best. But I think the list is almost perfect. And except that we're expecting to see some new players in the team who we think they merit their place, of which they are not there. You look at a forward like Tongwa Lamel of Young Sport Academy. He was on fire last season. Yeah. He scored 9 goals for Young Sport Academy. And surprisingly, the big surprise in this list is Aruna Dang, who is coming in. Aruna Dang played about 10 games with Bambutus. He had just 2 goals and 1 assist. But surprisingly, he's coming in, and players who perform very well above him, they are being relegated to the back seat.
Thank you very much. Now, DJIBRING, maybe you talk to us. What is your reading of that list first?
For me, that list is a list. For me, I would say that Clement ARROGA did not want to take a serious mistake, because before the list he made by January, the list was tough. But the fact that some players went out of that list have created a disequilibrium. And then he didn't have fear. He simply maintained the guys who he considered as the best. Okay. Because before bringing out that list, he have an experience. He was going to the field of play, seeing all those players playing, and he selected what was good.
Now, Afeseh was talking about Aruna Dang. And do you think Aruna Dang, as we speak now, is one of the best strikers that we need? Because he was telling us in January that he needed somebody who is going to be a killer in front of the goal.
Seeing Aruna Dang playing for Bambutus of Buda before, and in the League One, he used to score several goals, but he has some controversies in his performance. Okay. But I think if we give resting period caused by the coronavirus, he has been training, I think he can be somebody very important for that team in days ahead.
Isaac, if you just to ask that, I don't know how a coach is going to judge a player during the resting period based on his personal training.
Yes, I would like Marcel to say something about that. The coach, while justifying the reason why he called Aruna Dang, said the guy worked very, very hard during the resting period, and that in fact he actually placed some people to look at them, look at them very closely and see what they were doing, and that the guy lost weight. Could that be a good criteria? The fact that the guy has lost some weight to integrate him into the first choice.
Yeah, I think before the coach select the 30 players,
yes,
at least you would have watched them play.
Okay.
And all of us we have been watching them playing. It's not like it's something we have not been seeing them. Yeah, there's something in football that some of these coaches, they always try to put together things like they want players that will be ready to take the challenge.
Okay.
Yes, because this is a competition that we need a victory. We are not going to play but a friendly game. Yeah. So they need players that will take the challenge. Because when you look at the attack line, as we are talking about Aruna, when you look at Bonge Yannick, he's someone that can play at that pointage.
Okay.
And he knows how to score. So players like
he's
that.
in the squad.
Yes, he's in the squad. So I don't think we should be judging about they have not called this one, they have not called this one. Before the coach select the 30 players, he knows that they can offer what we need.
Okay, now maybe we let Afeseh to come back. Afeseh, you were trying to say something. Maybe you can carry your point today.
Just to correct something that Marcel made mention, Ebonge Yannick plays as a defensive midfielder, not as an attacker, as he mentioned. Ebonge Yannick can also operate as a centre back in case of difficulties. We've seen it with Coton's sport in Bamenda against PWD, where Coton had just one centre back. Ebonge Yannick was forced to play as a centre back. He has done similar scenarios against when he was with Young Sport and Feature. But when you look at the list, I believe that we have more attack-minded players who could really be instrumental than we've seen with some of the players there. It's true that we have the likes of Samuel Lane, they have the experience. Leon Boyomo was the top scorer in the league. But then I believe that we have young stars who have that anxiety to play and who are capable of delivering the goods. We've seen them. I made mention of
talking about anxiety. When you look at that list that was made public, the only player that has actually come out to celebrate the fact that he was called into that list is Aruna Dan. And Aruna Dan, that is to tell you that he has ambition and he wants to prove a point. So when the time comes, we should be expecting to see something spectacular.
We are not refusing the fact that Aruna Dan has been a good player.
Could be a good player.
No, he has been a good player. Take for example that in the 2015-2016 season,
yes,
he was the best player in the Cameroon League. He scored 19 goals in 30 games for UMS of Loom. After that, he left. He went out of the country. He had spares in Argentina and Angola, and of course, he ended up playing with CS Constantine in Morocco before coming back to Cameroon. But then, if we want to select players based on their present performance, I don't think Aruna Dan should be in that list ahead of somebody like Tongwala Mel. I mean, if you want to go performance-wise and what they deliver on the field of play, you need to watch some of these guys, and you believe me that look at just a young star like Inchino John Bosco of PWD of Bamenda. I mean, people have been questioning the fact that you look at that midfield compartment. A player like Dave Collins of PWD of Bamenda, he had an exceptional season, scoring 3 goals from the defensive midfield position, and he was voted his team's best player of the season. But we've never seen him appear on the waiting list.
Yeah, but before you come in, I talked with the head coach of PWD of Bamenda about that list. Maybe if we have time, we may have to get into the interview proper. But what he said is there are some players that he thinks he has in PWD that
are far better than those who are on
that squad.
Yes,
but he is not Clement ARROGA, so he respects the choice of the coach because he knows his philosophy, he knows what he's looking for. I think we should look at that same line.
I think Mr. David Pagou is a good manager.
Okay.
But Clement ARROGA is also a good manager, and both managers have their styles. They have their styles, and they judge players according to the qualities they think favorable for the players.
Okay.
Then now, Mr. Pagou David, when he was head coach of Cosmos of Mbam, I used to be with him. I know him very well. He's a straightforward, sighted man, but Clement ARROGA is somebody who is a little bit foresighted.
Okay.
Calling Aruna Dan Abisene is just simply to inform people that maybe that man is having skills that he, ARROGA, concerning his tactics put in place.
Okay.
He can fill the gap.
Okay.
If Aruna was not needed or was not important for him, he could have not called him.
Okay. Now, I think because of time, we will have to evolve just to let our audience know that they begin camping effectively on the 15th of September at the CAF Excellence Center in Bankomo, and that camp is going to last for just 2 weeks. And then in the month of October, the Intermediate Lions are going to play a friendly encounter. For now, it's not yet official, but we think that something like that could happen with the national selection. I mean, the national selection of South Sudan. I think that is going to help to boost the preparation of the boys of Yves Clement ARROGA. Now, let us, before we leave this thing, I mean the 2021 Shan, just 1 second from you, Afeseh, talk to us about somebody that could actually disrupt the goalkeeping plans of Yves Clement ARROGA because he has come back to the country and he's signing for PWD of Bamenda. I'm talking about Hashu Kelly.
Exactly, and I know that's one of the compartments that's going to give lots of headache to head coach Yves Clement ARROGA, because presently as we speak, we already have 3 good goalkeepers in that compartment. Through Anye Derrick, we have Ndande Junior and Yannick Epane. We talk about Mosola is still in Congo, but we have a certain Ashu Kerido, who is the 3rd goalkeeper for the Cameroon national team. He is just coming back from the Guinea Conakry, where he played with Club Industriel Kamsa, and of course he was voted as the best goalkeeper in the Guinean League. Before he left Cameroon, he was the best goalkeeper in the Cameroon League. There's no doubt about that. He played for Dragon, and of course he helped Dragon finish in the top 4 in the Cameroon League 1 championship. We all have watched Ashu Kerido. He has ambitions of playing the African Nations Championship, and of course he's waiting that the league should start, and when the league gets started, he will prove it with his performance on the field, and I think that's one of the most confident goalkeepers we have in the land by now.
Well, unfortunately, for now, we don't know exactly when that league is going to resume, so that we can see Ashu Kerido giving us what he knows best. Jibril, are you worried? Just one word from you and Marcel about the fact that the FECAFOOT Technical Transitional Committee is yet to give us a fixed date for when the season is going to resume.
You know, the FECAFOOT can do everything in order to make the tournament resume earlier. But the fact that the coronavirus situation is not yet seriously handled, that is simply bringing in disorder in the organization, in the implementation of a new calendar.
One word from you, Marcel.
Yeah, you know, it's something that is life and death, between life and death. The corona stuff. Yeah, so
COVID-19 is. Yes. We have to make a choice. We are choosing life.
We have to make the right choice.
And what about
we are seeing crowded markets every day? Markets are crowded. People are not they are not respecting the social distancing. They are not stopping them in football. They want to stop us. I think the reasons that were given by the president of the Technical Transitional Committee, Abubakar Alim Konate, is that when you look at the measures that were put in place by the government to curb the spread of the coronavirus, measure number 4 was precise that not gatherings of more than 50 that are authorized. I think that's what is actually holding football in the country now, because the government is yet to uplift that measure, and it's on to when they uplift.
So technically, he is saying the government should uplift that measure, and we are going to get our national championship resumed. Well, I would like us to evolve, and that is why we'll be talking about the CAF Champions League right now. I did tell you that David Pagou talked to us inside the week about the preparations that PWD of Bamenda have put in place to make sure that they honor Cameroon when they represent us at on the African scene, if you like, on the continental scene. We're going to get this interview. We'll be right back.
Okay. Coach David Pagou of PWD of Bamenda, thank you for talking to Info TV.
Thank you, Isaac. It's a pleasure for me to talk every time to your TV. So it's a pleasure for me.
Now, we are going to be talking about PWD of Bamenda as they prepare to get into the CAF Champions League this year. The dates are already known. It's going to be in the month of November. Coach, how prepared is the PWD of Bamenda?
In the back office, we do all the job, because after last season, when the championship stopped, we begin to prepare the next season. So we are ready. We do recruitment. We do a big document for CAF, because when you participate on the Champions League of CAF, you have to have a license. Though that oblige you to have all the section of the category of sport. So young sport, under 17, under 20. So we have do all of those documents. So we are ready. The next time, next week, you have to resume our training. So you have 2 months. 2 months. You go to 2 months to go to play for
preliminaries of the competition.
for the preliminaries of the competition. So we are on the time, so we are not late. That's.
Now, talk to us about some of the big signings that you have made. The fans would want to be reassured about some of the big names that they should be expecting to see this year in the PWD of Bamenda squad.
Yes, you see, supporters want PWD do noise, why do a big recruitment, but we don't have so much money like Coton, like Bambutos, like Union, to do that that recruitment. But PWD Manila have its politics. So we are a moderate team. We have not do noise like others. So we have our politics.
But
so
a small team. I mean, a team with that you might want to say is very humble. But when you sign big names like Hashukerudo, you are not a small team.
No, as we say, is a topo. Is a topo. So I know personally Ashukerido. The president know personally Ashukerido. So we have to talk with him, and he agree with our politics, our conversation. So you see, Ashukerido come from Guinea, yes. Equatorial Guinea. So when he's come to Cameroon, he have to play sharp. So he's the third goal of Lion, indebutable Lion, you know. Yes, Consasao call him. So when Ashukerido come to the Cameroon, to Cameroon, we hear the news that Ashukerido in Cameroon. I call him, president call him, president meet him, he discuss with the president. I discuss with by telephone. So he's accept our condition. So you see, PWD can't do more to one player and deserves the others. So yes, so all the player in PWD Bamenda is the same. Whatever the level is not the same. But you see, Ashukerido is a big player. He's Lion. He's go far of the Cameroon. So when he's come Cameroon, it's a relationship. It's a relationship. You see. So that's the way. We have also Vincent Gondi, who is a good player. Come from Beijing. You have Duhamel, who come from Coton Sport de Garoua. You have Billy Samin Bani, who do his comeback. So you have that small guy, Klein, who is the best. Is good player. I told to your colleague that player, you have to hear the name in the championship, because he's a good player who not play in the good team, in the best team. But I say them that if you come to PWD Bamenda, you will see what happened. So they are come Shem Herbert, Songche. That's our recruitment. It's not flamboyant. Yeah, it's not flamboyant, but it's good. It's good.
And you, as a coach, you are confident that with this squad, you are going to give Cameroon, and not just the PWD of Bamenda fans, joy, but you are going to give the entire country at the CAF Champions League joy.
Yes, I'm confident that this squad is better than the next squad. You see, because yes, the last one. Because last year we will not have a good bench. We will not have a good bench. We will not have a good substitution. Yes. So yes. So now there are so many who play, who can play. Yes, in the absence of the other. That's my that's my principal satisfaction. Though, so this year, you have a better. You are going to be to have a good team than last year.
Now, maybe we talk about the fact that the national championships in Cameroon have been postponed. Yet you seem to be very, very excited about the fact that.
Thank you very much. Unfortunately, we cannot take the whole of that interview. Maybe just some other time we'll take the rest of the interview. But just time for us to talk about what we've heard this far. But then, just to say that we have somebody very, very special in the house, that is Afeseh APONG, who knows PWD of Bamenda at his fingertips. You would be telling us more. David Pagou seems to be very, very confident that PWD of Bamenda is going to represent Cameroon well. Do you share that confidence?
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody within the ranks of PW, we are optimistic that we can pull another surprise, just as we did in the last edition of the Cameroon League One Championship. And you heard from David Pagou, he's not a coach who goes in for the big names. He goes in for disciplined players. At times, he proposes him big names, and he will try to find out his character. If he's not a good player who will match his philosophy, then he will definitely put him behind and take the player who he thinks is humble enough. I think so far, PW of Bamenda have confirmed 3 signings. We have Vincent Paul Ngonji, who is coming from Aiding Sport of Eleke. He's former player of Dragon of Yaoundé. We have Fridi Alexandre Fidi. He's coming in from Dragon of Yaoundé too. Former player of Racing Club of Kinshasa. He has played with AS Douane out there in Senegal. He's the son of a 1990 World Cup hero, Ripon Fede. And of course, we have also confirmed the accusation of pacey forward in Duhamel Kalamanji Mabingi from Cotton Sport of Garoua. He's coming in on loan. He's going to spend the season with PW of Bamenda, and if you have watched Kalamanji play, I think he's going to be one of the great additions into the team. And as David Pagou rightly said, it's true that we should be clear with the deal of Ashu Kerido. Ashu Kerido have had negotiations with the management of PWD. We've heard talks with him. Personal terms have been agreed, but the management of the team is yet to officially confirm his arrival. Same to us, we have some 2 or 3 players who are coming in from abroad who have Champions League experience to come and reinforce the team. I can even tell you some names here. We have 2 Nigerians who are going to come in the days ahead. I'm talking here of Hamzat Onuchu, who is coming in from Benin, alongside Emmanuel Samuel. Is a forward. Is also coming from Benin. All of them, they play with Isaac FC, that's École Supérieure de Administration et d'Économie, which have a football team out there in Benin. Before the end of the league there in Benin, their team was second, and of course, they have just been eliminated from the CAF Champions League in the group stage. So those are players who have that experience, and we also want to bring in some blend with young stars from the regional league who we have scouted, and we know that they are ready to play. For example, we have a young star who is just 18 years of age. He's coming in from Santos FC of Bamenda in Jem Herbert, who is coming in. He has been given invitation to play with the team. But that notwithstanding, I think the most important thing is that the management of the team is keeping in at least 80% of the players who won the league last year with the Abakwa Boys. Boyomo loved the team, and he has signed for Astro of Douala. And we have a player like Irich Ibakiliki, who loved the team at the end of the league and went out of the country. And I mean, few other players will be leaving because those are players that the coach has judged not to really fit the system, as per their reaction in the last edition of the Cameroon League One Championship.
Thank you very much. I think we really edified, and that's why I said he's a man in the house. He knows better what is happening in the kitchens of PWD of Bamenda. Now, you, from an external point of view, you are watching, and I presume that as Cameroonians, you want the best from the team that will be representing their country on the continental scene. What is your appreciation? Do you think that PWD of Bamenda, without us resuming our national championships, without these guys really having some time to play, they're going to be starting their training on Tuesday. Do you think that they are going to be ready to give us what we have been waiting for a very long time from Cameroonian clubs that play the continental competitions?
Isaac, you know that after the defeat of Cotton Sport of Garoua in 2008 by the National Al Ahly of Egypt, no Cameroonian club have once more even played the semi-finals of that tournament. And now the chance of PWD of Bamenda is not just a chance, it is a foresighted event, because we saw PWD coming far behind, and today we are calling PWD champion. This simply means that if they have emerged champion of Cameroon, this simply
champions of Africa.
Prove that they can emerge champion of Africa.
I like your analogy.
And on that same line, they are having a manager who knows the African Championship well, because he played it with Cosmos of Mbam, and he won a victory. This simply means that the manager, Mr. David Pagou, himself knows how to prepare his players. and this will bring in much more energy in this player because they have something to prove. The hegemony of Coton Sport of Garoua is down, and now we are in the world of PWD, and PWD is going to confirm.
Okay, maybe we get Marcel tell us view on that. What do you think?
Yeah, you know, I'm happy for the coach. Like Apong said something here that is a man of discipline.
Yeah.
Yes, you know, for a team to move forward, the team needs discipline. It doesn't matter the players that you have, the big players or the big name. What matters is the discipline. Because if you can have 15 players that are disciplined, I believe you can go with the team further, and the team will be able to do what you need. So for me, I'm really happy. Yes,
okay. You're happy as somebody from the northwest region of Cameroon that this time around you are the one to represent Cameroon abroad, or what is peculiar that is making you very, very happy?
No, the
names to that Apong was telling us that have been signed.
You know, and the coach has given us more confidence. Yeah, when the coach himself started with giving us the confidence, we are also confident that if the coach himself has said that.
I might also want to add that many people don't really know that it's not the first time PW is going to take part in the continental football.
Of course.
It's definitely going to be the first time that the Abakwa Boys are taking part in the CAF Champions League. But it's a comeback into the continental scene for PW of Bamenda after 16 years. They last played in the CAF Confederations Cup. That was in the 2004-2005 season, where they actually defeated TP Mazembe in the preliminary round, and they were only ousted on a goal aggregate by AS Douane of Senegal. By then, Aline Jemfa was the coach of PW of Bamenda. So the Abakwa Boys coming back to a continental scene in their first participation in the CAF Champions League in their 58-year-old history. They are determined to create a surprise. It's true, they are going in as the underdogs, but just as we all agreed, building a team that have the team spirit, the cohesion, the players who are willing to give their best. I mean, it's possible for us to see another surprise.
Okay, you've talked about the CAF Confederations Cup, and I like that because that is the next talking point on our agenda today. Gentlemen, we know that PWD of Bamenda is going to represent Cameroon at the CAF Champions League, but the big question is who is going to represent Cameroon at the Confederations Cup, and that is why we'll try to just situate the context in this report that was done by your humble servants.
PWD of Bamenda earned their ticket to play this year's edition of the CAF Champions League after emerging as the winners of the Cameroon Professional Football League 1. Head coach David Pagou and his boys will begin training in Bamenda next Tuesday, September 8th. But the question of who is going to represent Cameroon at the CAF Confederations Cup is still begging for an answer. Two candidates for one available spot, Coton Sport of Garoua and Stade Renard of Melon. In effect, the difficulty stems from the fact that there was no Cup of Cameroon this year due to the COVID-19 that put all sporting activities on standby since March. Stade Renard feel they should be given the opportunity since they won the Cameroon Football Cup last year. Coton Sport, on her part, thinks it is logical for her to go since she finished the season as runners-up to PWD of Bamenda in the National Elite 1 Championship. To PWD of Bamenda in the National Elite 1 Championship. The situation is putting football authorities in the country in a difficult position as they will have to make a choice that will surely hurt one party or the other. It is therefore hoped that the authorities in charge will act with wisdom and send the name of Cameroon's second representative to the Confederation of African Football, CAF, as soon as possible for preparations to begin.
Thank you very much for that report. And now time for us to talk about it. Logically, it is clear that Stade Renard of Melon should represent Cameroon, but it seems the authorities are finding it difficult to just send the name of Stade Renard as Cameroon's representative this year. What could be the problem, Afeseh?
Yeah, you know, there is lots of politics in football in Cameroon, because when you look at the CAF rules, it is well stipulated that in case a competition is not played or a competition is cancelled without the champions being crowned, the same representatives in the international competition for the previous
edition
should be fielded. It's the same. If the League One Championship ended without PWD being crowned champions, I think it was UMS of Loom that were definitely going to participate in the CAF Champions League. But fortunately enough for us, PWD of Bamenda was crowned and the championship was ended. It was not cancelled. But for the Cameroon Cup did not go through, and of course it was still at the preliminary stage with the regional level, and it was cancelled. So if the Cameroon Cup is cancelled, Star Renal Melong, who represented Cameroon at the CAF Confederations Cup last season, they were definitely supposed to regain back their place and represent Cameroon. But immediately as the league ended, FECA food officials made mention of the fact that Cotton Sport of Ghana is going to represent Cameroon at the CAF Confederations Cup. So it raised lots of issues, and now we are trying to find out. And recently we did interview FECA food officials and try to ask them, and they were like, we are still waiting for to hear from the authorities that be before we can take the final decision. So it's a little bit controversial there.
Yeah, who could those authorities be, DJIBRING? And what exactly are they waiting for?
The authorities are simply waiting for nothing, because there are rules and regulations. When you have put rules and regulations, you must respect them.
Okay.
You are a member of an organization and you must go according to the organization. Even in the CAF text, it is clearly written that it is the previous winner of a cup that is going to represent its home country in the tournament. And now people cannot simply sit in an office, decide on opinions, and they think that they are ruling the whole CAF. The Cameroon Football Federation is not the whole CAF. Their decisions are not above the CAF decision. They can decide to send another team, and then the CAF reject it, and a local team will not take place, and Cameroon is going to be fired. So they must be very careful.
Okay. Now, Marcel, maybe what do you have to say about this whole thing?
Yeah, you know, the Cameroon Football Federation, like Djibril said, they are waiting for nothing. They just want to cause trouble.
Okay.
Seriously, because they have their rules. They were the one that put the rules, and they can't change it now. If they want to change it, it means they are actually telling us that Cameroon cannot say something and stand on it.
It's not even Cameroon that said it. It's
CAF.
the
whole continent.
And they
agreed to it. They signed.
One thing that is true is that the federation can decide to field in a representative. But now I think if the federation decides to field in Cotton Sport as Cameroon's representative at the CAF Confederations Cup, Star Renal Melon, they have all their rights to stand and ask the questions that we were the ones who were supposed to be in that place. They have all their rights to even follow up to even take it to
court,
to legal battle. I mean, they have all their rights because they were supposed to take part in it. But according to my own little knowledge of football, the federation also have a right to decide which team can enter in case we have a lot of
controversy like around who should go if things are not really clear.
Mr. Afeseh, the matter is not at the level of the Cameroon Football Federation. The matter is at the level of the Confederation. So the decision taken here in Cameroon can be sanctioned at the level of the Confederation.
Well, I bet you
if the African
can decide that Cotton Sport will play the CAF Confederations Cup, and Cotton Sport will play, and without CAF definitely rejecting it, Cotton Sport will play. If Star Renal does not raise any concern that we were the ones who were supposed to play, CAF will allow Cotton Sport to represent Cameroon.
CAF Disciplinary Council can simply handle it and fire the federation before even
council, like Afeseh is saying,
exactly. If there is no opposition, they simply allow them to play.
Which means somehow
FECAFOOT is right.
FECAFOOT should decide. But what we said, and that's what I actually said in that report, what should be done very fast.
Exactly.
Because we don't have much time. So that this psychologically they should know. Now you see that they are getting ready.
If you permit me, I'll just add that we witnessed the same scenario, I think, in 2018 when we delayed with the Cameroon Cup finals between Eding Sport of Leke and Lyon Blessé. And at the end of the day, we never had any representative in the CAF Cup. But FECAFOOT had the right to even choose a representative there who was not even definitely the cup winner. We had a game against Asante Kotoko, who was supposed to play either Lyon Blessé or Eding Sport of Leke, but finally they won for future because FECAFOOT did not react on time.
And that even reminds me, Afeseh, of the fact that we used to have 3 representatives on the continental scene. 4 even. And today we are having just 2. And it's because of some of this.
I think you have to understand that in terms of representative in the African continent, CAF has the criteria they use to rank teams. The top 12 countries in Africa. They fight in 4 representatives, 2 each in the CAF Confederations Cup and the CAF Champions League. But recently, the classification is done based on the performance of their clubs at the continental scene. So recently, we've had teams from Cameroon since 2008 that Professor Sport of Ghana reached the finals. We've not seen a Cameroon team going above the first round, the preliminary rounds. They end at the preliminary rounds and they're relegated. But if you don't reach the group stage of the competition to win more points for your country, the points drop, and of course those other countries who pick up more points, they come in. It's surprising for you to know that countries like Tanzania, they will fill in 4 representatives, but Cameroon have just 1 representative. It means our government is not also giving our teams the necessary support for them to perform well at the continental scene. When a team qualifies, like for example,
I think that's clear on
that PWD of Bamenda, if they want,
we can stay on a bit.
If PWD of Bamenda wants to go into the continental scene now, the management of the team will have to invest into the team from their own personal pockets, maybe waiting that the government should reimburse the money sometime after, which is not true, which is not possible. I spoke with the former captain of UMS of Loom, Joel Etoge, some days ago. He was really bitter on this point. He told me that it's really embarrassing that we will see the team won the Cameroon League in 2016, and the money was only given to them maybe by 2018, and it was not given completely. It was not given completely. Even now, as we speak, PWD of Bamenda have not received a franc for winning the Cameroon League, and I think how would they prepare for the continental competition?
Very, very difficult.
On the same line, Mr. Afeseh, I will add that in case Cameroon tournaments are taking place in Egypt orderly manner, there is no fixed calendar. How are these teams going to prepare well in order to succeed in those international competitions
and increase our points so that we can have more representatives?
What must be done is that the Cameroon Football Federation must adopt a fixed calendar with all the dates put in place so that we should know exactly at what time to do this and at what time to do that, so that we can go online with the African Football Confederation's calendar. In case a fixed calendar is not put in place, we will keep on moving ahead in this order.
Just we'll be doing the Bafia
dance is not going in front one step. People need to be facilitated. Bafia dance 2 steps in front and 1 step behind. No, 1 step behind, not 3 steps. But Cameroon is going 2 steps behind and 5 in front.
And thank you very much.
It's true because, I think, for example, the preliminary round of the CAF Confederations Cup and Champions League begins in the weekend of the 20th to the 22nd of November. Cameroon's league was supposed to start on the 26th of September. It has been postponed to October. No precise date in October, which gives that possibility that before they start the preliminary round, PWD of Bamenda will not have any game time. And you're going to face Maghrebian teams who have been playing consistently. I think it's really difficult for the players. You're going to play an international competition without having game time. It's really frustrating for the management because you don't have that possibility to judge your player and see which of the player is fit to go into
just 1 second.
On the same line, you cannot a team preparing for a month cannot go and champion a team who have been preparing for more than 6 months. This simply means that a competition starting in October and then you are beginning your Champions League in September. You want your teams to be up.
I want us to talk about Lionel Messi. We don't have much time. I really want us to talk about him. Before we go, the good news for Barcelona fans this morning is that their star man, 6-time Ballon d'Or winner, Lionel Messi, is going to stay on at Barca for the next 1 year or 1 season, if you like. That is going to be until June 30 next year. Gentlemen, what do you have to say about this drama that Lionel Messi put up for us? Was it really necessary for Messi to shake the whole football industry just for him to say at the end of the day, I'm not going?
Isaac, you know, Lionel Messi wanted to shake the wall, you know.
And he succeeded.
Yeah, he succeeded because all of us
everybody was waiting for him.
For Messi to move out of Barca, but I believe Messi staying back at Barcelona will be difficult. I will blame but Barcelona because if Messi don't offer what they need, it means they have still spent another money for nothing.
Okay.
Yes. Then also for Messi, he might lose most of his fans.
Okay.
Yes, if he don't.
Actually, he has not really lost some, but just with what he did, so there are some fans that are already angry and they have like.
Yeah, you know,
Messi, I don't want to again.
Yeah, Messi wanted to take a challenge.
Yeah.
to
a new challenge.
Yeah, a new challenge from Barcelona to Man City. But from all indication is to stay back in Barcelona. But now the point is that if he stays for another year and he don't offer what Barcelona really want from him, it will be a shame to him, because what Barcelona need is trophies. We can see this year Barcelona have gone out with nothing. So if next year, if they continue next season without a trophy, then no need for Messi staying there. It was better for them to leave Messi.
Thank you very much. DJIBRING, you think it was better Barca should have let go Messi this year?
I think that was a wrong decision taken by Messi in order to step out, because you know Messi is somebody who have given everything to Barcelona,
and Barcelona have given him
everything too. But the real problem behind this situation is that Messi, after the defeat of Barcelona 4-2 against Bayern Munich, wanted to see if his fans still love him. So he brought out that statement in order to see the reaction of fans in Spain. And the whole Barcelona city agreed that he should not go.
But maybe I just interrupt you a bit because the pictures that the technician is giving us there are very, very interesting. And they're telling us that Messi has been at Barca since 13. That is where he grew up. You can see he was already wearing the Barcelona jersey at that tender age. He has grown up there. Everything, in fact, Messi breeds Barca. Barca is in a marital relationship with Messi, so to speak. And so it's very, very difficult to let go a player like that one.
No, the problem is that when you are at home, your parents are beside you, everything, it is like a second home from Lionel Messi. And Messi cannot go out of Barcelona because it is there that Messi has become what he is. So for Barcelona now, they should not count on Messi at 100%. They must look for some players that they must put aside Messi, and Messi must just play like an additional effort, because Messi is age, and players of his age now cannot offer what Barcelona want for the moment. Messi is now like a joker player for Barcelona, so Barcelona should not constantly rely on him, because Messi has offered everything and Messi have nothing again to gain in football.
Thank you very much. Afeseh, what's your reading? What was happening with Lionel Messi over there in Barca?
I think let's expect to see a lot of boos when the La Liga resumes, because fans then the Spanish league, they are definitely not going to take the decision lightly. We all know that it was definitely going to be tough for Messi to leave Barcelona because of the huge release clause he has. 700 million euros. No team on earth will accept to come and pay that money to get in a single player. Messi
that's about 459 billion francs.
Messi had the opportunity to leave Barca because he has a time frame where he can always tender his transfer request, where he is free to go without the club paying a dime. But of course he did not respect, I believe, Barcelona and La Liga.
The date was he should have told them that by the 10th of June.
Exactly. I think Barcelona and La Liga, they have the right to say Messi is still on a contract with them, and Messi made mention of the fact that he never wanted to go into a legal battle with his team.
A team that he loves so much.
Yeah, a team he loves so much. But I believe that it's also true that Messi should look for somewhere and for a challenge somewhere. Because
and since we're talking about somewhere, Afeseh, and we are running out of time, I want us to quickly talk about the chances that he would have had with his former mentor, Pep Guardiola, at Manchester City. Maybe I start from you, because that will actually be your last word.
Yeah, you know, Manchester City, they are one of the high spending teams, sponsored by the guys from the United Arab Emirates. They have the money, and Pep Guardiola himself at Man City, he's looking for their first ever Champions League, and I think the coming of Lionel Messi would have given him that opportunity. The team, why not to go in and look for the
in fact, somebody even quoted that they were saying that they were going to win 2 Champions Leagues at least together before Messi retires.
Exactly, but unfortunately for him, it's not going to happen.
This maybe it could happen next year.
It could happen, but by then Messi is going to be fed up. I believe football now is more of youthful exuberance. I like going in for youthful exuberance than going in for these players who are good players but they are already fading out. I prefer to invest money on young stars like Mason Greenwood, Rashford.
Thank you. I know you can go on, and the list will never end. Your last word, please.
Yeah, you know, Messi going to Manchester City,
Would have been a good move for him?
Not a good move for him.
Okay.
Because you know, he don't have anything to offer there. Seriously, Messi is playing in Barcelona because there's no big player in La Liga that will compete with him.
Okay.
But when you come
to the
Premier League, you have Mohamed Salah, Sadio Mane, that they are ready. They are proving it.
Okay.
It's not like they are ready to prove it. They are already proving it. So Messi will not have anything.
Messi doesn't have his place.
No.
Let's talk about the best player in the world.
Yes, he's the best player. He can only play in Barcelona. You know that Barcelona. If you don't know football, you go to Barcelona, you will play.
Okay.
Yes, because they have this. They are playing style that even you are a child, you go there, you play football.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your last word.
No, you don't. Messi is light, and Barcelona cannot allow the light to go because darkness is going to appear.
What's away?
Barcelona,
the light will one day go.
The light
will
one day go.
The light will go definitely.
We can compare luck and chance.
Yes.
Messi is a lucky man, and Barcelona have been a lucky team to have someone like that.
Okay, thank you very, very much. I just want to say a very big thank you to all of you who came and for your powerful analysis. I do hope that our audience, they were really, really edified with what you said today. I want to say a very big thank you to the man who coordinated and did the general supervision of this program, Dieudonné Mven, and of course the sports editor, Willie Kat, who came personally to the studios to see how the program was going on today. I also want to say a very big thank you to Melissa Major, who was behind the cameras, and of course Landry Ncha, who was at the production assistance desk, and of course he made sure that you had what you saw today. I want to say a very big thank you. Until we meet next Saturday, keep sporting. Bye-bye.
Journée de repos jeudi pour les pays participants à la 17e Coupe d'Afrique des Nations de volleyball féminine dans la